My name is Bert Riddick, and I'm here today to support all of the victims throughout the state who have been victimized by this. I came before the committee last year, and I thank you for voting to pass the bill last year. But we have some inherent problems, and I'm hoping we can address those today. I've lost my home. My marriage has been ruined because of fraudulent actions. And as the law stands today, we are actually encouraging women to commit fraud because we're not holding them accountable. So that needs to be addressed. And I think that all of the victims you see lined up here today, they have families that they can't support. You know, my son reads an article in the LA Times where DCSS mentions the best interest of the child. He looks at me and asks, how come they don't care about me, Daddy? So that's what we need to address. You know, we need to let these people get their lives back and let them get their families together. We're breaking up biological families for fraudulent action.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Heartland. Imagine this scenario. A man and a woman marry, they have kids, they get divorced. The husband pays to support the children for many years. Then one day, he finds he's really not the father. Should he continue to support the children? Damon Adams is a Michigan man who finds himself in exactly that situation. He joins us now. Damon, thanks for being with us. Tell us your story quickly, please.
It's a pleasure. Yes, I found myself shortly after a divorce with family members and friends bringing up that possibly a child wasn't mine, and DNA tested the child, and my heart was broken. It turned out to be 0% paternity. And
when was this? Your child was how old?
The child was 8 years old, 8 years old at the time, which in a lot of these paternity fraud cases, I'm an exception. Most of them are judgments by default, where a mother is simply naming a non-biological father.
Well, let's talk about your case. What kind of a message do you think gets sent to this 8-year-old daughter, who's I think 10 now? What message gets sent to her about when her dad goes out and gets tested to see if he's really the dad?
Well, I think honesty and integrity is important for mothers and fathers. And we have a problem in this country, and Australia and England has it too. The American Association of Blood Banks reports that 30% of men who test find that these children are not theirs. And to me, there's nothing more important than the integrity of not lying deliberately and methodically to a child. So I hope that even if she doesn't understand it at this point, that a time's going to come in her life that she understood that a man who was involved with her innocently because of a mother's lies, that in fact I was an advocate for her. And that's why I'm fighting for these law changes.
I've got a quote here. It says from you saying, something changes in your heart when she walks through the door, being your 10-year-old daughter. You're seeing the product of an affair. I mean,
yeah, that was taken out of context,
how does telling her, telling her the truth, she's 10 years old, and to say in print that, you know, when she walks through the door, you don't see her as your daughter, you see her as a, you know, as a product of an affair. I mean, this is not good for this kid.
I think psychologically you go through a lot of transition as you learn something so shocking. And I think it's time we could quit putting the non-biological fathers in the box and putting us on the defensive. I love this child, and I plan on having a relationship with her. And I'm fighting for her, and I'm fighting to prevent this from happening to you, to other families in this country. And we're going to make the changes. In fact, in Ohio, which I think was your home state,
I wouldn't vote for him.
Bipartisan bill swept through with one vote, one dissenting vote, John.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm used to standing up and being the only vote. But here's the thing. Why is it that when adults feel ripped off wrong, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form excusing what your former wife did, but all these men that run around and try to get tested 5, 6, 7, 8 years after the kid is in the family, the kids are the ones that are suffering the collateral damage. Why don't we recognize that?
No, I think we're not recognizing something else, and this may have something to do with your training and other people's training, to deliberately and methodically lie to children, to withhold their health history at a time when genetic counseling depends on accurate family medical histories. In fact, we are supporting the best interests of the child, and this has to stop. And I think mandatory DNA testing someday to prevent the problem is where we need to head with this. And this will be a moot point.
I can't disagree with you on the issue of health. I mean, we want to make sure that a kid doesn't have something in their background that's going to lead to bad health. But this is largely about fighting about child support, about going through a court. And really what you're doing is you're saying to this young girl, I'm not your dad. I don't think that serves her well. I don't think you say, oh, well, I was just honest with you. Frankly, I think this is selfish on the part of many fathers. But you get the last word.
Okay, where's the biological father in this? If I'm
We've got to track him down. We should track him down.
I agree.
You got to stay in there.
But again, John, there's no incentive. If the mother is lying for money for child support, that's where the money comes in. A lot of us are totally willing, once we've established a relationship, to support that child voluntarily, but not directly through the mother. And we've got to stop this problem. That's the only way we're going to stop it, is to have prevention.
Let me just say this. I want to thank you for coming on. I just don't agree with you. I just think kids are going to pay for this. But God bless you, your daughter, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you for having me.
Coming up.